A crime spree across Michigan involving a carjacking at a local high school. Find out where authorities found the suspect.
And a good Saturday morning, mid-Michigan. We track the chance for some more light snow today. Your full forecast up next.
Closing arguments today in former President Trump's second impeachment trial. The case his defense team made to persuade Republican lawmakers not to convict. It's time to wake up mid-Michigan. It is Saturday, February 13th.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, good morning and welcome to the weekend. Hope you are caffeinated, ready to take on the day. You may need something warm to drink. It's a cold one outside, so we appreciate you being here with us this morning. I'm Blake Keller. We're joined also by meteorologist John Gross, both sporting our winter blues today because it is.
This wasn't planned.
This wasn't planned, by the way, but we have the same mind space because look at outside. Oh my gosh, along US 10, we see some flakes.
Some of that snow already here, Blake. I seem to always bring the snow back for the weekend.
Yeah.
Just in time, right?
You must have that power, huh?
I guess so. I'm holding my little magic wand over here. I think I found it. Some people have been asking about it, but yeah, we got a little bit of light snow on your way as we're going in throughout your Saturday. Cold temperatures, those aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Typical weather for what we can expect here in February for mid-Michigan. Here's a live look back now. We'll take you over to US 10, our Fabiano's Brothers camera that's looking north and west. And as you can see, the cloud cover holding steady. Roadways look to be in good shape as of right now, but could get a little bit snow covered as we go later on in throughout this afternoon. We'll take you to the pinpoint Doppler that's live from MBS. Seeing a little bit more, it looks like, in the way of some more moderate snow if you're located near and along I-69. And this activity will continue to move in as we're going later on throughout today. You can see some more snow showers on the other side of Lake Michigan, near Wisconsin, Illinois, back near Chicago. Not a lot of moisture associated with it, but this has kind of been the systems that we've been seeing over the past several days. Just a very quick mover, not a lot of moisture, but just enough to give us a few more inches of snow when all is said and done. So that's what we can expect going throughout today. Temperatures right now in the teens, even some single digits to the north. Our winds not too strong as of right now. It's going to be more so the direction coming off of Lake Huron into this afternoon, so we could get some more lake enhancement if you're closer to the lake shore for those snow totals. Feels like temperatures right now in the teens and even single digits. Make sure you layer up accordingly and don't forget about your pets for this weekend. Coffee Cast will have temperatures at 19 near about 22 this afternoon with periods of snow showers throughout your Saturday. We'll talk more about the totals and we'll talk more about snow chances as we go into next week in just a little bit. Blake, we'll send it back to you.
All right, John, looking forward to that. Thank you. Developing this morning, a mid-Michigan high school turned into a crime scene after a carjacking took place in the parking lot. Officers say an 18-year-old woman was sitting alone in a car at USA High School in Sebring Township. She was approached by an unknown man who threatened her with a knife before stealing her car. TV5's Scott Wolchek has the very latest in this case.
A cross-county crime spree, ending in a whole nother state.
We were shocked, just completely unexpected.
And police believe it all began when the suspect, who is yet to be charged or named, stole a car from the Ludington area in Mason County Thursday morning. They say he drove that car more than 100 miles to Sebring, where a high school student was waiting in her grandmother's car in the high school parking lot at a game Thursday night. What she didn't know, this man was hiding a knife.
The individual was able to talk the student, into getting an opening, and then they took advantage of the student's kindness in trying to be helpful to exploit that opening, get into the vehicle, and then that's how they took control.
The student ran to get help. Police believed the suspect to be on drugs, potentially even heading to Florida. But it's believed the suspect then drove back across the state to Muskegon County to rob the Comfort Inn in Whitehall. The receptionist declined an interview, but did say nobody was hurt. Finally, in Jasper County, Indiana, the suspect was pulled over. The suspect still brandishing a knife and potentially suicidal. Indiana State Police made an arrest after a 90-minute standoff. Sheriffs across Michigan are waiting to hear more details unfold and potential charges. Scott Wolchek, WNEMTV5.
The victim of the carjacking declined our request for an interview. Today, the U.S. Senate is expected to wrap up the second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump with closing arguments and a possible vote. Friday, Trump's defense team tried to distance the former president from the rioters who attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. No human being seriously believes that the use of such metaphorical terminology is incitement to political violence.
The defense played videos of Democratic lawmakers arguing they also have used heated political rhetoric. Now, some GOP senators praised the defense's performance.
I think the president's lawyers blew the House manager case out of the water.
A number of Republican lawmakers have said a conviction is unlikely, with 17 Republicans needed to side with the Democrats. But some Republicans still had questions about the timeline of the violence.
So the president knew that people had invaded. They were approaching the Senate chamber, and the Secret Service felt like the vice president was in danger. About 30 minutes later, he tweeted out another tweet negatively towards the vice president.
Trump's lawyer said the former president was not aware the former vice president was in danger and added what Trump did during the riot was not relevant to the charge of inciting an insurrection. New this morning, President Joe Biden will be traveling to Michigan next week. On Thursday, in his first visit to the state following his inauguration, he will be touring Pfizer's manufacturing site and meeting workers producing the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, this comes after Pfizer says they will be supplying the U.S. with another 100 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccine. That brings its total number to 300 million. Now, the Biden administration announced it bought more doses from both Pfizer and Moderna for a total of 600 million doses. And right now, with the COVID-19 vaccine becoming increasingly difficult to get a hold of, some residents are taking matters into their own hands. TV5's Trevor Sahaki reports vaccine hunters are hard at work to find doses that would otherwise go to waste.
We had 5 computers, multiple browser screens, a cell phone, and a landline. And even with that, only one person got through and got an appointment.
Getting a vaccine today is like trying to score the hottest concert ticket in town. Shar Clark had been trying to get her parents vaccinated when, due to a computer glitch giving her dad 2 appointments and cancellations from a snowstorm, she got a vaccine too.
And she's like, if you want his second appointment, you can have it. And I'm like, are you serious? Yes, I am not going to turn that down at all. So it was by chance. It was very surprising. And yeah, I wasn't going to turn it down.
After all that craziness, the Holland resident wondered if others were going through the same thing. That's how she discovered the Midwest Vaccine Hunters Facebook group. You can find similar groups across the country: New Orleans, Maryland, Seattle.
I kept count today. There were 52 individuals that got appointments today just based off of posts on our page.
Clark lost friends to COVID and says, like her, the people in her group are anxious. One waited outside a Rite Aid and ended up getting a vaccine. Another drove to Mississippi to get a shot. She says groups like hers help bring a sense of organization to a process that some find chaotic.
Other than being extremely frustrated with the entire process, it's a given. Nobody's done this before. And you had to start somewhere. The CDC had to specify guidelines for where states should start, and each state has done their own thing.
Trevor Sahaki, WNEMTV5.
TV5 News Time is reaching 8:10. Good morning to you if you're just joining us. Up ahead, the CDC reveals new guidelines on reopening schools. What needs to happen before students return to the classroom? And coming up, a brokerage service facing claims it blocked an investor from selling stock. Why the investor says it cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stick around, we have so much more coming up after the break. More local news. It may be cold, but you can drop a line in the water for free. This is a free fishing weekend in Michigan, and it applies to all inland lakes and the Great Lakes for all species. Now, the recreation passport fee for vehicle entry will be waived as well, but all fishing regulations will still apply. And today is your last chance for free skating in Saginaw. Positive results. Pride in Saginaw and Friends of Hoyt Park say bringing back the ice 2021 will be back from noon to 4. Free skate rentals are available courtesy of Saginaw County Parks and Rec. COVID restrictions will be followed and masks and social distancing are required. Always a lot of fun, perhaps a great day to do it. TV5 News time is 8:13. Still ahead, mystery symptoms from COVID-19. We introduce you to two women who beat the virus but have yet to fully get past it. Vaccine side effects mirroring symptoms of breast cancer. Why doctors say it's nothing to worry about. Here's a live look over downtown Saginaw right now. Temperatures in the teens with that wind chill, even colder. So definitely button up for that. Those roads looking good for now. We'll have a check on your weather coming up shortly. In dollars and cents this morning, an investor is accusing a brokerage service of preventing him from selling some Reddit stock darlings last month, eventually costing him $830,000. Luis Hernandez filed a claim against Fidelity. His attorney says the company blocked Hernandez's attempts to unload shares of Nokia and AMC on January 28th. Hernandez ended up selling the shares at a steep discount where they had been trading from. Now, Fidelity says it hadn't received this specific complaint and does not comment on specific customers. IKEA is introducing a new line of furniture for gamers. The company launched the line earlier this year in China and plans to go global in October. Now, IKEA says they want to find ways to make gaming blend into the home. Now, in all, there are more than 30 new products ranging from gaming chairs and desks to accessories. All right, taking a live look at Mount Pleasant on this cold, gloomy Saturday morning while our beautiful, lovely meteorologist, John Gross, is tracking some snow. I mean beautiful in the terms that you are opposite of these cloudy skies,
well,
bringing us
Blake.
lots of sunshine to our studios.
I try to bring the sunshine. Sometimes you have to be the sunshine because it slacks here in Michigan for this time of year. But more clouds, cold temperatures, and a little bit way of some snow showers as we're going throughout your Saturday. Nothing that we haven't seen across mid-Michigan for this time of year in February. So that's what we've got on the table for you as we go later on, especially into this afternoon. Already starting to get a little bit active, though. We'll take you to the pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS from about M46 and further south. Already starting to see a little bit of light snow starting to move in from the south and the west. And I think we're going to get in on a little bit more of that activity as we go later on in throughout this afternoon into the early evening before that'll wrap up into tonight. But it's another quick mover. There's not a lot of moisture associated with it, but that's all going to be moving in our direction as we go later on in throughout this afternoon and into the evening hours. Could give us some minor accumulations when all is said and done. We'll talk about those numbers in just a sec. Right now, hour by hour, here we go for this afternoon. That's going to be our best window of opportunity to see this snow. On top of that, our winds off of Lake Huron could give us some lake enhancement on top of the system snow that we're expecting throughout today. So totals near the lake shore could be a little bit higher, and we've already been seeing evidence of that from days previous, especially north of the bay. We already know how that goes. As we go into later tonight, Sunday, things really start to dry out. We turn more towards a lake effect scenario with our winds more towards the north and west throughout the day tomorrow. I think we'll get our fair share of cloud cover, possibly an isolated lake effect snow shower, but nothing like we're expecting as we go throughout today. And that's really about all we've got for you, about an inch on the higher end near 2. But if you live closer to the lake shore, could have some locally higher totals too, possibly near 3 inches when all is said and done. And it's an active system or an active scenario as we're going throughout next week. Storm systems we'll have to watch. It looks like most of activity will be moving off to our east, but there will be a chance for a little bit of snow as we go throughout the day on Monday. System we've been talking about over the past several days has shifted a little further east, so it looks like we're going to possibly get clipped by a little bit of light snow, but more of the heavy stuff going to be confined to the Ohio River Valley and Pennsylvania and New York, and even another system we'll keep an eye on, still 6 days out, but possibly even another chance at some snow as we go in throughout next Thursday. Today it's 22, periods of snow throughout the afternoon, a little bit more near the lake shore. That's all going to be due to our winds coming off of the relatively warmer waters of Lake Huron throughout this afternoon and into the evening hours for today. Tonight, that wraps up by about midnight. Lows down near 6. At least our winds are not too strong. We'll be out of the north at about 5 miles per hour. There you go on a 7-day forecast. Valentine's Day tomorrow's at 19, 14 for President's Day on Monday, and snow shower chances continue for a good majority of next week. We'll carry that into Tuesday. Wednesday looks like our dry stay at 22, and then we'll even keep an eye on as we go into Thursday and Friday. 25 for next Thursday, 27 by Friday. Blake, Nick, back to you.
All right, John, can't wait for Wednesday. That's like the only day without a chance of snow. I appreciate it, John. Thanks. TV5 News time is 8:21. Coming up at 8:30, the latest in a cross-county crime spree where police found a suspect for a carjacking right here in mid-Michigan. And next, new guidelines for women getting the COVID-19 vaccine. What that means for annual health screenings and the potential impact on those results. Welcome back. Some women fearful they might have breast cancer after getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, the dose can cause lymph nodes to swell, throwing off imaging technology. TV5's Kendall Keys spoke to one doctor who says the lymph node swelling can actually be a good thing.
A side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine could mirror signs of breast cancer. Dr. Suzanne Bays, medical director of the Covenant Cancer Care Center, explains it's not something to panic about.
Swollen lymph nodes can cause some discomfort and also can be mistaken for cancer lymph nodes if we didn't know that the patient had the vaccine.
Dr. Bays tells me swollen lymph nodes or local inflammatory response occur in 15 to 20% of people who receive the COVID-19 vaccine. She says it's a sign the vaccine is doing its job.
And that's how the vaccine actually works. The body recognizes it and fights it.
What she doesn't want is women avoiding mammograms or cancer screenings after receiving the vaccine.
Some patients have already delayed their screening mammography by several months because of the whole pandemic.
Dr. Bays says usually enlarged lymph nodes will resolve on their own. If you notice this side effect, here's what she says to do.
I would tell my patients, wait 3 or 4 weeks. If it's not getting better, definitely report it to your provider.
If you've received the vaccine and have a mammogram scheduled, she says don't cancel it. Instead, just inform your doctor that you've received the vaccine. I'm Kendall Keys, WNEMTV5.
All right, TV5 News time right now is 8:26. Next at 8:30, a new guide for reopening schools, where the CDC says students should be back in the classroom.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, good morning and welcome to Saturday. I hope you all enjoyed that sunshine yesterday in full force. Wish it followed us today. Look at those very gloomy clouds. It's a live look for all of you outside Birch Run. And traffic, what was there of it, moving swiftly, so nothing to worry about this morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us, though. Today is February 13th. I'm Blake Keller, meteorologist. John Gross also here this morning, and we see some flakes falling downtown Flint across the bricks. Are we getting any accumulating snow today that any of us should worry about?
A little bit of accumulating snow, Blake, kind of similar to what we've seen for these systems over the past several days. So nothing that we're not used to across mid-Michigan, but a little bit more of that will be possible as we go into the first half of this weekend. Cold temperatures not going anywhere anytime soon. We'll take you live over to downtown Flint again across the bricks, seeing a little bit of light snow and a little bit of light accumulation on the grassy surfaces as well as the pavements. So some slick spots for this morning definitely will be there. This is newly issued from the National Weather Service, a winter weather advisory north of the bay. Anywhere you see the purple shading on your screen, that's for Aranet County, Ogama, Iosco, and Alcona County until 11 o'clock this evening. And the reason for this winter weather advisory is more in the way for some lake effect snow showers mixing in with some of the quote quote-unquote system snow that we will expect as we go into this afternoon. So some locally higher totals there. Pinpoint Doppler live from MBS showing some of that snow already moving in throughout parts of mid-Michigan like we saw there in Flint. And looks like we're getting a little bit more of that activity just south of the Tri-Cities. Going to be seeing that move in periodically as we go into this afternoon. It's a quick mover, not a lot of moisture associated with it, but again, just going to be enough to give us some snow showers and some minor accumulations, it looks like, when all is said and done. Temperatures right now mainly have us in the teens. We got 12 in Mount Pleasant, 17 in Saginaw, 15 right now in Bad Axe. Your winds coming off of Lake Huron for today. That's going to be the big reason why we see some more of that lake enhancement snow into this afternoon. Saturday we'll have the better chance of snow showers, a little dry for your Sunday, but temperatures both days staying cold near 20. We'll talk more about your snow totals and more snow chances for next week coming up in just a little bit. Blake, back to you.
Sounds good, John. Thank you for that. Developing this morning, a cross-county crime spree that ended in another state. Now, police believe it began when the suspect, who is yet to be charged or named, stole a car from the Ludington area in Mason County. He then approached an 18-year-old woman sitting alone in a vehicle at USA High School in Sebewaing Township, threatening her with a knife before stealing her car. It's believed the suspect then drove back across the state to Muskegon County to rob the Comfort Inn in Whitehall. But after a 90-minute standoff in Jasper County, Indiana, that suspect was arrested. The CDC has unveiled guidelines for reopening schools. Now, the color-coded system is based on the rate of coronavirus transmission in each community. Now, blue zones have low transmission and are open for full in-person learning. Now, yellow is moderate, but those schools can also stay open. Now, the color orange means substantial transmission, and schools should switch to hybrid learning and reduce attendance. Now, red means middle and high schools would switch to virtual learning if there's no regular testing. Now, if testing is done, all schools should use a hybrid model. Now, the CDC says these guidelines do not mandate schools reopening, but are more of a roadmap to reopening safely. It also emphasized the need for mask wearing and social distancing, and says vaccinating teachers would also be another layer of protection. And the COVID vaccine may soon be coming to a pharmacy near you. In the race to get shots administered, the Biden administration launched a program to distribute 1 million doses a week to select pharmacies with the goal of reaching more underserved communities. Shipments to 6,500 retail pharmacies began this week, including Southside and Bay County. The owner says he'll be handling the Moderna vaccine.
We aren't able to do the Pfizer because of the storage requirements, but the Moderna can be stored in our current facility.
Now he hopes to begin receiving vaccine allotments within the month. Starting today, Bay County will send confirmation emails to those registering for a vaccine. This is an effort to strengthen the appointment system. Now, if you already received a vaccine or have an appointment to do so, you may also receive an email, but you can disregard that message. TV5 News Time is reaching 8:35. Coming up next, getting over COVID, but not getting past it. A story of two mothers who beat the infection only to have symptoms mysteriously creep back into their lives.
Oh, I still have issues with smell. I can taste. I don't taste as well as I did.
Now, she battled a COVID-19 infection, but still those long-term effects still linger. She's what doctors refer to as a COVID long hauler. Unlike some who get the infection and can move on afterwards, she and others like her suffer daily with varying symptoms. TV5's Rachel McCrary reports the origins of those symptoms remain a mystery to doctors.
There's noise in my brain all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For some COVID-19 survivors, the symptoms seem to never go away.
But I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm like, I can't, it's almost like I have to think and try harder to expand my lungs since having COVID.
Two Michigan mothers, Gloria Vitisse and Serena Shapansky, still fighting to recover. After initially beating the illness, mysterious symptoms slowly crept back into their lives. Vitisse says after getting COVID in March, she can only describe her symptoms as a constant buzzing in her brain.
I've had a brain scan, I've had a heart scan, I've had a CT of my sinuses, I've had the Doppler of my carotid arteries, and there have been some minor findings in all of them, but nothing that explains any of the symptoms.
Vitisse says before COVID, she was healthy. In fact, she had just gotten a physical. Shapansky is a nurse, and before COVID, she says she was active and full of energy. Now, 3 months later.
And now I need breaks. Now I get tired. If I take one dog for a walk, I come home, I rest for a while just because I'm so tired, and I take the other dog for a walk.
Not only did Shapansky get COVID, but it also turned to pneumonia. Her long-term symptoms don't stop with fatigue.
Oh, I still have issues with smell. I can taste. I don't taste as well as I did.
Doctors are now trying to get an explanation of what they are calling COVID long haulers. People that have symptoms long after getting infected.
It's unclear to us. There's a lot we still don't know about this virus.
Dr. Vineet Chopra is the chief of hospital medicine at U of M. He and other doctors did a study in which they looked at 1,600 patients who had been discharged from hospitals across Michigan. Researchers called them back 60 days after they left, and 1 out of 3 still had persistent symptoms.
Anything from, persistent cough, difficulty breathing, having trouble climbing up the stairs, all the way to new problems with their heart or new problems with their circulation.
Chopra says there is still so much doctors just don't know about how or why COVID impacts certain people the way it does.
It was really surprising to see just how many people, A, hadn't recovered, B, had same or worsening symptoms, or C, most importantly, had kind of a newer problem that they were dealing with even 2 months out from having COVID.
Chopra says if you've already had a pre-existing condition and a weakened immune system, you could experience longer lasting symptoms. But for others, it's a different scenario.
Their immune system overcorrects. So rather than fighting off the infection, they actually start to fight their own body. And so they continue to attack the lungs, they continue to attack their circulatory system, and have these persistent symptoms in terms of their ongoing complaints.
Vitisse is grateful her symptoms weren't worse, despite the constant ringing in her head.
And I feel lucky that with all of the testing that I've had after with my symptoms that carry on, that I don't seem to have anything life-threatening and any kind of damage that's that bad.
Shapansky is grateful too, but fears for the future.
What am I going to lose next time? Losing a little taste and smell I can live with, but what is it going to do next time? Am I going to be someone who needs to walk around with oxygen? I don't want that.
Rachel McCrary reporting with WNEMTV5.
Now, the CDC says multi-year studies are underway to further investigate the long-term effects of COVID-19. TV5 News Time is 8:42. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to this week's Excellence in Education Award winner.
Wrapping up by later on tonight, it's another cold evening down near 6 with a lingering snow shower into the beginning of your Sunday morning. Valentine's Day tomorrow, Blake. It's 19 with an isolated snow shower, and it stays snowy into next week. Monday at 14, 19 by Tuesday. Wednesday looks like our driest day at 22, and even possibly some more snow. We'll keep an eye on it for you Thursday into next Friday. Blake, back to you.
All right, John, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow since it's I'm going to order that heart-shaped pizza and heart-shaped bread and sit inside by myself and eat it all. All right, John, thank you. TV5 News Time is 8:49. All right, feeling any negative feelings this Valentine's Day? Speaking of, this fundraiser has got you covered. How people are giving back while also getting back at their ex. We'll explain that next. But first, Lisa Robertson with your local steals and deals. Alrighty, check this out. A New York Wildlife Center is using Valentine's Day as inspiration for an unusual fundraiser. Now, to honor those flying solo this weekend for $5, you can name a mealworm after your ex and watch a chicken eat it live on Facebook. How fun is that? Staff say they hope this exercise will be therapeutic and help people let go of any bad energy they have in their lives. Now, the center also added another part of the fundraiser for just $20. An ex's name goes on a paper mache ball, and bobcats will claw it to shreds. So if you're looking for a different way of celebrating love, I guess the lack of love.
I think we were talking earlier, the Bobcat with shredding up the paper would probably be better. Or at least you'd feel better about it if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, live vicariously through this Bobcat.
Sure.
Shredding your ex's name. How's the weather, John?
All right. The interesting stuff there. But it's a good cause, I guess, for the fundraiser, right? All right, these are newly issued winter weather alerts north of the Bay, Aranac, Iosco, Ogama, and Alcona County until 11 o'clock this evening. Some lake enhancement off Lake Huron, possibly 2 to 5 inches there. The rest of us about an inch or two when all is said and done from the snow today. And then more snow chances into next week. Valentine's Day, President's Day next Tuesday, and then even Thursday, Friday. Blake, back to you.
All right, sounds good, John. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you stay warm, stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday.